first, speaking of superheroes, let's get into the world of DC Comics. This is big.
That's right. Justice League is now out in theaters, and really, it is all the buzz.
Primitive beings.
Oh, because this movie is such a big deal, DC comic fans and moviegoers are all excited. We just had to send our very own movie reviewer, and we like to call him Fanboy, Mr. Preston Mullins.
I thought we were going to say he's our superhero. He's our superhero in the Morning Blend. He's the one who puts it all together for us. And
I like to go by Fan Man, not
Fan
Fanboy.
Okay, we can change that.
That's okay.
So seriously, when this came up, we said we have to, like, you really do kind of love this series and love diving into this world.
Yes, I was a fan of the Super Friends as a kid, so, you know, growing up, you want to see a movie of the Super Friends, and like this was it. So I've literally been waiting for this movie my whole life. Couldn't have been more excited.
Okay, so you're excited. Does it live up to expectations?
Okay, well, here's the thing. The last few movies, the Dawn of Justice and then the Man of Steel, they were heavy, long movies. I mean, I think they were all over 2.5 hours. So I went into this, I drank my coffee, I went potty, I was ready for the long haul. And it was only a 2-hour movie, and it was action-packed, and it was fun. I call it a fun action romp. Not as heavy as the other two movies, lighter. It was great. It was just a solid, good action movie.
And I'll say, you've talked about some of the reaction that you heard in the theater, and there's been some, I don't want to say negative, but there's been some kind of concerns that people have had with this movie. Do you agree with some of the negative comments, and what are you hearing?
Yeah, I heard people say that, you know, oh, it was all over the place, and some people didn't want to stay till the end after the credits. There's a few, you know, credit scenes, which Marvel does, so now DC's doing it. And so it's worth hanging out till the end. But yeah, these guys in the theater were like, oh, I don't want to stay around at the credits, you know, and I'm like, that's like the coolest stuff. So.
All right, let's talk about kid-friendly.
Yes.
Is this family-friendly? What age are you thinking?
You know, there is a point where Aquaman, spoiler alert, he says the SH word.
Okay.
So, you know, if you use that word around the house in front of the kids, no big deal. But if you don't, you probably don't want to take them to see the movie.
I like that. I like that example. They need to do example in ratings. So there's your thought on kids. And overall, where's the superhero film franchise going? I mean, are you looking forward to another movie already?
Well, when I was little, there was this character Darkseid, and I'm hoping that he'll be in the future movies. They hint at, I don't know if I should, spoiler alert. They hint at him, so I think that's the way they're going.
Oh. Well, you mentioned humor, and I know you really wanted to kind of brag on this point. You have an example for this, right?
Yeah, it's a funny movie. A lot of the comic relief comes from the character The Flash, you know, who isn't as seasoned fighting and battling as the other characters. So yeah, here's a clip that kind of has to do with that. Let's go to the clip.
My special skills include Viola, web design, fluent in sign language, Gorilla Sign Language.
Silica-based quartz sand fabric, abrasion resistant, heat resistant.
Yeah, I do competitive ice dancing.
It's what they use on the space shuttle to prevent it from burning up on re-entry.
I do very competitive ice dancing.
That's funny. That's good.
It's funny stuff. I mean, it's like I said, it's light, it's funny, it's a good movie to just go out and have fun. And there's some throwbacks, there's some cool things. If you're a fanboy like me or a fan man like me, and you watch the past Superman films, you know, from the 70s that Richard Donner did, or the Tim Burton Batman movies, there's a couple little nods to those that people will enjoy.
Well, speaking of nods, I'll say you normally have a comic book t-shirt on. We don't have that.
Several.
As much as a fan of DC as I am, I don't have a DC shirt. I have an old Flash shirt that doesn't fit anymore, but I did wear the Superman Band-Aid, and I don't even have a cut.
Hey, real quick, Aquaman. I feel like we're going to hear more about from him lately, and is he going? I mean, I feel like we haven't seen much of him in other movies and stuff.
Yeah, there's supposed to be an Aquaman movie, and Jason Momoa's in it. You know, he was in Game of Thrones and all that, and he's great as Aquaman.
Okay.
So
are you excited for that one too?
Yes, very excited.
Love the passion. Love the passion.
We'll have to have you back for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thanks, Preston.
Thank you.